Hello students. So in today's newspaper there is one important news, that is India-Peru free trade agreement. Free trade agreement. Now this, in short, we call it FTA. Now if you see, this FTA has become a buzzword these days. Why? Because if you see, last week India has signed, so I can say last week India has signed FTA with, so if you know, please tell me in comment section, FTA with European Free Trade Association. Okay, Free Trade Association block. Now here in this Free Trade Association block, you will see that there are 4 countries. Now this can be your prelims question. No doubt we are going to talk about India-Peru also. Okay, but first we'll see some recent FTA. So recent FTA is with, you can say, European Free Trade Association block. Okay, and there are 4 countries. So if you know, please tell me in comment section. And these 4 countries are Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, and the 4th one is Liechtenstein country. So all these 4 countries are from Europe. So we have a free trade agreement with these 4 countries. That is last week. Even if you see, there are some free trade agreement which are still in negotiation. Okay, so you can say there are 4 free trade agreement with, you can say, 4 different countries. So I can say they are still in negotiation stage, and these 4 countries are: number 1 Oman, number 2 United Kingdoms, or in short we call it UK, number 3 European Union. Now why I am putting a stress on European Union? Why? Because if you see, last week we have an agreement with European Free Trade Association bloc, which comprise of these 4 countries, whereas European, or you can say this free trade bloc, is not, or you can say, separate from European Union. Okay, so ultimately UPSC can confuse you that we have a free trade agreement signed with the European Union. So remember, it is not European Union, it is European Free Trade Association bloc. Okay, which comprise of 4 countries, that is Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein. Clear? So these are the 4 countries that you have to remember. Now, apart from this, the 4th one, that is the topic of the day, Peru. Okay, that is Peru. So if you see, with these 4 countries, India is in still process of signing FTA, or you can say we are waiting for the deal to get signed. Okay, so with these country, you can say FTA gets stuck because of some reasons or some issues. Okay, so today we'll talk about Peru. Now if you see, what is the significance of Peru? So if you see, Peru is nothing, or you can say Peru is significant for India. Why? Because it increases presence of India in Latin America and Caribbean region. Okay, so ultimately Peru, significance of Peru is that it increases India's presence presence in Latin America and Caribbean region. So in short, we call it LAC. So don't get confused with, you can say, line of actual control that we have in India. Okay. So LAC, that is Latin America and Caribbean region. So it will increase India's presence in this area. Now, no doubt, earlier also, or you can say in past, India has India has some limited trade deal with Chile, which is a part of Latin America. Okay, so India has limited trade deal with Chile. Okay, you can say a country in Latin America, okay, and Caribbean region, or you can say South America. Okay, so in past, India has limited trade deal with Chile as well as Mercosur nations. Mercosur nations. Now, can anyone tell me what Mercosur nation? Okay, what Mercosur nation include? So again, here there are four countries in Mercosur nation, and these four countries are: number one, Argentina; number two, Brazil; number three, Uruguay; and number four, Paraguay. Okay, so these are the four countries. Now remember, UPSC can again ask you why, because Peru is in news, so you can expect in prelims that they can ask you the countries which are part or member of Mercosur, or you can say these are the founding members of this grouping, Mercosur group. Okay, in Latin America and Caribbean region. Okay, so this is, you can say, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, and Paraguay. Okay, so in past we have, you can say, limited trade deal with Chile and Mercosur nation. Okay, this is what you have to remember. Now, same way you have to remember for your prelims that these are the countries with which India is going to sign FTA. So FTA has not been signed. So India is going to sign free trade agreement. Okay, no doubt you have to remember the information. Okay, no other way to mug up these things. But if your concept are clear, okay, or if you are reading newspaper properly, so these things you will remember, okay, in day-to-day basis itself. Okay, so if you refer any, you can say, magazine in the end, so no doubt you'll face problem in mugging up the things. But if you do this, reading newspaper should be, or if it is a part of your regular habit, then you will not face any problem in that. Clear? So I hope you agree with this. Okay. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. So if in prelims they ask you which of the following countries with which India is going to sign FTA or already signed, so you must remember that these are the countries with which we have to sign. Okay, so ultimately you can, with elimination, you can correct the answer. Also, if they ask you European Free Trade Association, what countries it include, that you must know for your prelims also. Clear? So this is what you have to remember. Okay. Now moving further, if you see, no doubt we have some trade deals already with this area or with this LAC region. Okay, but right now, what is the, you can say, situation of trade with respect to India and LAC? You will see that, or you will, I'll give you one number here, that India's export to this region, or India's export to, so please listen it carefully, India's export to LAC region comprises or constitute less than 2%, less than 2% of total import from LAC region. Clear? So we can say with one surety that India is having a trade deficit. So India is having trade deficit with this region. Okay. So India is having trade deficit with this region. Okay. So ultimately signing of FTA. Okay. Signing of FTA with Peru will give some, or you can say will help us to reduce this trade deficit. Okay. Now we'll see that will it happen or not. Okay. Now if I talk about Peru, or if you see with respect to Peru, so if I talk about Peru, Peru is Peru is India's 43rd largest trading partner. 43rd largest trading partner. Okay, this is what you can say, India's 43rd largest trading partner. Now, even when we talk about in terms of export destination in LAC area, okay, so you can say export, when it talks about in terms of export destination, okay, so India is the third largest, or you can say Peru is the third largest export destination for India, that is after Brazil and Chile. Okay, so remember when we see with respect to all the countries, so Peru is 43rd largest trading partner. Okay, whereas when we see Peru is the third largest export destination. Okay, in LAC region, in LAC region after Brazil and Chile. Okay, so this is what number you have to remember for your exam. Okay, now if I talk about financial year 23, so in financial year 23, okay, in financial year 23, the trade between India and Peru is around 3.26 billion dollar. So we have to increase this number. So when I'm saying trade, it means export and import. So you can say export from India, that is export of goods from India to Peru was worth rupees. Okay, export was worth rupees. Okay, $856 million. Whereas if you see the import that India done from Peru, okay, import that India done from Peru was around, you can say, $2.5 billion. So approximately I'm telling you, so just you have to remember. So again I'll tell you that Peru is the 43rd largest trading partner. Okay, so means whatever trade India is doing with different country, so number of Peru, or you can say Peru comes at 43. Okay, 43rd largest trading partner. Okay, so after that, if you see when it comes to LAC region, so Peru is the third largest export destination in LAC region. Means this is the country where we send our export, that is in terms of LAC region. So first our maximum export goes to Brazil, then Chile, and then you can say Peru. That is our third largest. Now if you see the financial year 2023 data, so total trade between India and Peru was 3.26 billion, and approximately whatever amount we exported was 856 million, and India imported. Okay, so India exported amount this much and India imported around $2.5 billion from Peru. Clear? So that is why we have a trade deficit. No need to remember this number. Okay, this is just for your reference. I have mentioned you, but these numbers get changed every year. Okay, now, but you have to remember that right now Peru is 43rd largest trading partner and third largest export destination in LAC region after Brazil and Chile. This is what you have to remember for your prelims. Now, this free trade agreement talk or negotiation begins in the year 2017. Okay, so this free trade agreement, that is between India and Peru, it begins in 2017. So this is what you have to first remember for your prelims, that it begins in 2017. Number one. Number two, already we have 5 rounds of talk or 5 rounds of FTA talk, that is between India and Peru. India and Peru has been done, that is till August 2019. But after COVID, or you can say due to COVID, it gets stuck. So we have again begin the sixth round in February 2024. Okay, so we have sixth round of talk, that is in February. Already we have done in February 2024. Okay, and this time we have a seventh round of talk in New Delhi, that is on 8th of April. Clear? So it means this news will come again. Okay, so this time we have seventh round of talk. Okay, seventh round of talk in New Delhi. Okay, that is on April 8th. Okay, that is on April 8th. That is why this is in news. Okay, that is why this is in news. So you can say this is the reason for the, you can say why it is in news. So you read in magazines also why it is in news. So this is the reason. Okay, so you have to understand that this point is again very, very important. So I'll say that you have to remember that talks begin in 2017. Okay, now again, so I started this video with this, that free trade agreement is a buzzword nowadays. So you can see that we are signing free trade agreement with so many people. Okay, or so many countries, not people. Okay, so this is what you have to remember. Okay, now the last thing that you have to remember, now what is the main thing, okay, where this deal will get stuck, that is the gold, or you can say export of gold from Peru, or you can say import of gold by India from Peru. Okay, so ultimately what I want to say, that Peru used to export gold to India. Okay, or you can say Peru is right now the fifth. So especially for my girls audience, that you must know that Peru is the fifth largest gold supplier to India. Okay, fifth largest gold supplier to India. Okay, now Peru is interested that whatever taxes are imposed by government of India with respect to gold, or you can say gold import, that should be reduced. Okay, or concession should be given. But government of India is not interested. Okay, so Peru is interested that in FTA. Okay, Peru is interested that in FTA, Indian government Indian government must reduce the taxes on gold import. Okay, taxes on gold import. Okay, so they are looking for this, but this can be the only, you can say, the main agenda that you will see on a discussion or in a discussion that happened on April 8th, 2024. Okay, so already in 2022, okay, already in 2022, India signed FTA with UAE, and when they signed FTA with UAE, in that FTA also they have given, or Indian government has given, tax concession on gold import from UAE. Okay, and that led to increase in gold import. Okay, and that led to increase in gold import from UAE. Okay, in 2023. Clear? So this is what you can say, whatever we have talked about, this is, you can say, an issue which you can discuss when we talk about how to reduce current account deficit. Okay, current account deficit. So if you see in case of India, okay, whenever we signed FTA, okay, so no doubt in that case, FTA, signing of FTA will have in some cases negative impact, and that leads to increase in India's current account deficit. So you can say here India's current account deficit get increased. Okay, so as the day they signed FTA with, you can say, UAE, we have seen a surge or increase in gold import from UAE in 2023. Clear? So this is about the topic of, you can say, India-Peru free trade agreement. Okay, so what can be the expected questions? So I have discussed in this video. Okay, so this slides will be given to you on Telegram channel. Okay, or provided in the YouTube link. Clear? So I hope you get some benefit. Okay, or you learn something. So stay tuned. We'll meet soon. Till then, Jai Hind and have a nice day.